Well, let's get started. Okay, so we've got an animal sanctuary, houses a bunch of animals. We've got animals that are treated by Dr. Hall. They're in this circle. And the animals treated by Dr. Pham are in this circle. So how many types of animals were treated by Dr. Hall? Well, Dr. Hall treated otters, turtles, rabbits, and goats. So 4 kinds. All right. How many types of animals were treated by Dr. Hall or Dr. Pham? Okay. When you see or, that's a key word. Or means everything in the one group. It also means everything in the other group. So, so otters, turtles, rabbits, goats, mice, koalas, horses. That's 7 different things. So that's what or means. Now, if it had said and, then we would have, and means only what they have in common. And the answer would have been 1, as in just goats. Let's see, let me get that right. Okay, so which types of animals were treated by neither Dr. Hall nor Dr. Pham? Okay. Okay, so neither of them. Well, the only animals that weren't treated by either of them were snakes and quails. So that would be our answer. Okay. And that's, kind of how you do these kinds of problems. Okay, so here's a new one. It's definitely similar, but it's, not quite the same thing. It's similar because, well, it's the same thing, except now we've got 3 sets. That's really the only difference. Okay, so select all the train lines that do not stop at Trento. Well, Trento is right there. Well, Trento is inside the red line, so red line stops there. So does purple line. But blue line, it's not inside the blue line circle. Therefore, blue line does not stop there. Boom. Okay. Now, how many stations are only along the purple line? Okay. So, well, purple line is right here. But we're not saying how many are in the purple line. It says how many are only in the purple line. Oh, well, Santos, that's in red and blue also, so that wouldn't qualify. Ilion and Ulm, they're in blue as well as purple, so they wouldn't qualify. Graz and Trento are in red as well. So it looks like just Delft, Kent, and Athens are in the purple group and only the purple group. So just those 3. Okay. Part C, which stations are along neither red, nor blue, nor purple? So they're not in any of these circles. Okay, well, that's just going to be these 4 right here, isn't it? Okay, so Metz, Bern, presumably like Bern, Switzerland. That'd be cool to go there. It's so pretty there. It's also very expensive. Radom and Quilmes, or however you pronounce it. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. So that, should help you out with, understanding how things are done. Okay, now what if it said, let me just make up a new one here. Let's see, which stations, well, that's really big, are in blue line, but not, I don't know, red or purple. Well, or just red. That'll be fine. And then I'll stretch that out so it doesn't overlap quite much. Okay, so if we were exploring that, we would say, all right, which stations are in blue? So blue is this group here, but not red. Okay, Erie and Santos, they're in red. But Nara, Ilion, and Ulm, they are in blue, but not red. Okay, so there'd be 3 in that group. Okay, so now on this one, since we got 390 people, incoming freshmen, they're seeing who likes classical music, who likes jazz. All right, the Venn diagram shows it. So let's answer the questions. So how many of the freshmen like classical? Well, classical is this circle here. So that would be 167 plus 67. Let's see, that'd be a 3, 13, 14, and a 2. So 243 people. There are 243 people in the classical music circle or set. All right, so we got that. And okay, so the next one. How many of the freshmen like neither classical nor jazz? So the people who are not in the classical group or the jazz group, 58. Okay. I'm trying not to sing along to the music my family has playing downstairs. I got the soundtrack from the movie Frozen. The past is in the past. Okay, so how many of the freshmen do not like classical music and jazz music? Okay, so this time we got a key word in there, and. So classical music and jazz is where they overlap. So that's what classical music and jazz music makes reference to, is those 67 people. Okay. So it says, how many of the freshmen do not like both classical and jazz? Well, that you'd have these 176. Yeah, they're not into both. And then you'd also have these 89. They don't like both. And you'd have these 58. They certainly don't like both. All right. And then I'm just going to go to my calculator like I should have on the last one. Hopefully I got it right. Okay. So there's 323 people in that group. And notice none of our answers are bigger than 390, which makes sense. I mean, yeah, there's only 390 people to pick from. If you end up with more than 390 in any of the groups, that's not going to cut it. Okay, so here's a new topic. And so it says, now we're going to actually build a Venn diagram. Okay, now the first thing you have to do is figure out which of these choices we're going to have. Okay, so for example, this one right here, we'll choose that one if there are some people there and some people there and some people in the overlap, then we'll choose that. Okay. We'll choose this one if the two groups have nothing in common. Everybody's either here or outside. Actually, I should put it here. Then it kind of looks like a smiley face. Or, well, there's no mouth, but whatever. But that's when you'd use that. And then you'd use one of these. It doesn't really matter which. Well, I guess it does. Use one of those when you've got one group completely contained inside of the other group. All right, so let's see what we got here. So W has 3, 4, 5, and X has 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so they both have a 3, they both have a 5. So they have some things in common, but they have other things that are not in common. Whoops, not that one. Okay, which means we're going to do this default graph where they overlap partially. Okay, and let's see, do I have to select that? Okay, yeah, so that's just the default graph. It's already chosen. Okay, so so now we're just going to put everything where it goes. Okay, I guess I should probably use their feet. All right, so where does 1 go? Well, 1 is not in W and it's not in X. So 1 is going to go on the outside of the two circles. 2 is 2 is in X, but it's not in W. So here's X, not W. Here's X and W. So we'll go there. 3, that's in W. It's also in X, so it's in both. 4 is in W only. So over here, not there. Oh, wow, another song by Frozen. This is where the guy and the girl are singing that They know each other really well, even though he's a dirtbag. Okay, 5, that's in both sets. So that'll go right here. 6 is only in set X. So right there. And the 7 is only in set X, not set W as well. And so that's how you do it. Okay. Okay, now they're listening to Hercules. Okay, so we're going to do one more of these. Okay, so A is in set X only. Okay, so I'll put them there. B is in both. Oh, wait a minute, we got a problem here. Look at this. Set Z is the stuff in it is just the B, the element B. And so everything in Z is in set B. So in other words, set Z is completely contained inside of set X. So we need to pick this one right here, which shows Z totally inside of set X. And the only thing inside of Z is B. But X also has A, C, D, and F. And then E and G they're just in the universal set. They're not in X or Z, so I'll put them out there. And that is how it would work. Okay, let's get a little more practice on setting these Venn diagrams up. Okay, so we've got 262 incoming freshmen. Okay, and we're trying to find out about what they like. Jazz and rap. Okay. So, and so what we need to do before we answer the questions is fill out these boxes, because we've already learned how to read a Venn diagram. So once these boxes here are filled out, then we can answer the questions much more easily. Okay. So we got 15 people who like rap, but not jazz. Okay. So 15 people in the rap group, but not the jazz group. So that's going to be right here. Okay. Then we've got 126 people who like jazz, but not rap. Wow, that's much more popular than rap. Okay, so 126 people, they like jazz, but not rap. Well, if it just said 126 people like jazz, well, that 126 would be split up over these two groups, and we would need more information to figure out how many in each. But it doesn't say that. It just says 126 are in the jazz group here, but not rap. Okay, because this middle area is rap as well as jazz. Okay. Then it says there are 141 people who like rap or jazz. And again, or means everything in both groups. Or in other words, everybody in the rap group and the jazz group, it all adds up to 141. Okay, well, we've already got 15 people, or we've already got 126 people accounted for out of the 141 who like rap or jazz. So let's see, be a 5. Okay, and we've also got another 15 people accounted for out of all of that. And so that leaves nobody who likes rap and jazz. Okay, usually you don't get 0. Okay, now if I got a negative number, it would definitely be wrong, because that wouldn't make sense. But usually you get something more than 0, but you can get 0, that's fine. Okay, so we've got all of that. Now, there are 226 people who were surveyed. Okay, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 regions to represent. So we've got, out of 226 people, we just saw that there are 141 right there. So we've got 141 accounted for. Let's see, was that an 8? Yeah. So there's 85 people left over. So they're the people who are not into rap or jazz. Okay. All right, now we can answer the question more easily. I know it seems like a pain to go through all that before we even answer questions, but Believe me, it makes it a lot easier. How many freshmen like jazz? Well, 0 plus 126 are the people who like jazz, or 126. How many freshmen like both rap and jazz? Well, nobody. Okay. And that second one would have been especially challenging to figure out if we had not filled out the Venn diagram already. Now, on this one, there's one more little thing that we need to do. Okay. And that is we need to recognize, whoa, whoa, whoa. So there's no overlap. Okay. I mean, what we have here can be considered correct, but Alex isn't going to care for that. They want you to be a little more specific. So once again, like we saw earlier in this video, because there's no overlap, we are going to need to change what type of picture we use. Okay, so we need to have them. Oh, what the heck? There we go. Okay, we need to have them separate. Okay, to show that the two groups have nothing in common. And then we would say, all right, 15 here, 126 here, 85 here, and then you don't have to include the 0. Okay, so yeah, you need to do that. Okay, and that'll do it for now.